Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Tangent Show. We've hit episode 24, or show 24. I guess that's how we'd say it. And we are here for July 11th.
Yep.
So we had a little bit of a break last week. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone had a great Independence Day celebration. Good July 4th. Mm-hmm. It was busy around here. Good weather. Not bad weather.
Yeah, super nice weather around here.
I mean, a little bit of rain, but not too bad.
Well, I guess I was across the mountain where it was like 90 or 85 or whatever. So we had like
you were out on the other side of the state, basically all the way on the eastern side.
Washington.
How was flying drones out there since you got your toys and all that?
Dude, the drone police aren't out there, put it that way.
Right? No, you can go wherever you want, right? Yeah. It's not a big deal. So it's not too bad.
We tried it at night. You and I talked a little bit about the HDR stuff. So I think
welcome Baltimore.
Kind of settled. So
happy post 4th of July, Baltimore. Good to see you, man.
How are you?
We could not get Twitch running tonight. It's dropping so many frames over there. We don't know what's wrong. So that's why we don't actually have a Twitch stream going.
All of our shows the last couple of weeks, I feel like we've had a technical here or there on it. So
yeah,
even on the Wednesday
it's something with the Twitch server and us because it's just dropping frames left and right. So we decided just to go straight to YouTube tonight as our standalone.
Unfortunately,
this is our main channel in-house, so of course Twitch is the backup. But I mean, you got some toys. I got a toy. We're going to be taking this to Gamescom coming up in 4 weeks in Germany or 5 weeks. A little video camera. We're going to be taking some footage of the Gamescom show in Cologne, Germany for everybody to see. And we're going to be over there with our new company owners, Gamigo.
Yeah, I think you and Miguel are going first, it sounds like.
Yeah, Miguel and I are going to be running over there. So maybe your drone, you can fly it over the ocean and get it over there. So who knows?
After almost dipped it into alki, maybe not.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. It was good. You still running, doing all that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Still doing the workout?
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome. So I'd imagine you might need, doing a workout, some Nintendo 64 shoes from Nike.
I didn't see these. You just told me about these. I wasn't aware this was a thing. A little disappointed in my purchase, having seen these now. But.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I saw these on a news article. I was like, what? Are they really? And I guess they're supposed to be play and reset is what they're called. Left and right shoe, I guess. And, I don't know what Nike's up to, but some N64 themed shoes, which I guess you could have counted like any clown shoes, because that's what they look like. Is the same.
Well, this isn't the first time Nike's done this because they have that
in the 80s, I think, and 90s too.
Well, even at that, they've got the collaboration with Sony.
Yeah.
And it's like what it is. They call them like the PGs or the PG2s. So I know they've done some video game crossover stuff. Right?
But funny enough, Baltimore. I am a fan of the Max Air style because I'm old. And, it's just easier on your joints. I believe. I could be fooled. It might not be easier on your joints. Who knows? But I would have actually held out and waited for these. I just bought a brand new pair when Brooke started to work out and run. I said, well, I'm going to join you. I'll run.
Right.
I used to run a lot.
Right.
And I didn't have a good pair of shoes, so I just bought a pair. Pretty, decent price. Like, I didn't pay anywhere near probably what they're asking for these. But
well, because the ones that you bought, I didn't buy ones. I bought, like, Air Zoom, so I don't have the actual pocket on the bottom like you do on yours. Yeah. So
they look comfortable. I imagine they would be. The pair that I have now is my third pair. And
that's what you'd said, yeah.
What's happened is that air pocket actually has popped on me before.
Right.
And then the shoe wears funny. It's like, I don't know, the air actually is in there for a reason, right? So,
right, yeah.
They do look comfortable, though. I will agree with that. And that's not the only Nintendo thing going on. I don't know if anybody's a fan of puzzle games here or Mario, but look who's back. To me, I've got your giant suppository for Dr. Mario here. It's available on mobile now. It's the jump shots with those. They don't help my vertical leap. That's just not going to happen. But yeah, you can now play this. This launched as of yesterday, the night before. Not
2
last
days
night,
ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah, I think it actually launched a day early. That was the story that I caught.
Yeah, it actually jumped a little bit ahead. You were playing it as Baltimore was already playing Dr. Mario. There it is, right there. Oh, we're not even on the. I've got it on the news screen, but we could
Not actually on the cam. Yeah,
look at that. So yeah, it's right there. I've been playing it. I did an actual video on it just to check it out. Right.
Yeah, because I think collectively, you and I have played or downloaded all of these Nintendo mobile releases. Even if we don't,
we've tried it. Even the beta one that you had access to.
Yeah.
For Mario Kart, which was not good. This is okay. Baltimore's already made it through the first section. I was trying to get, I don't know, Baltimore, if you saw the video I made, but I was actually trying to get to the versus mode. You got to get through 20 levels on here.
Yeah. Okay.
And essentially that's the first world. And then at that point it kind of opens up is what I imagine. I haven't made it that far yet. And the problem with this game, and they just did a patch, so I'm not going to complain. Like the first night, I was making excuses for Nintendo, just thinking knowing how mobile worked from our days in it.
Right, yeah.
The bad thing is they made the app a simple puzzle game with in-app purchase network connected. You can't play the damn thing, or you couldn't until this patch. I don't know about this patch.
Okay.
But you couldn't play the thing until if you were off the network. There's no offline mode.
Right. That's what you said when we were outside.
They might have patched that out and they might have fixed that because it just came through now. Hopefully they did, because when I was trying to play it on my tablet and streaming it or recording it, I have bad internet to begin with, and then probably the servers were filled with about 1 million people trying to access it. So it was just crashing, hitching left and right. It was a bad experience that first night, so I hope it's getting better. I'm sure Baltimore, you were able to play it through that level. I doubt you would put up with a bad experience. So they must have fixed it.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. This isn't like we're in beta. This is like full launch.
This
right?
is full launch on this one. Yeah. And yeah, the first Baltimore said that it is. It's the first. It's the first area of basically that first 20 levels is where they teach you how the game is played. Mm-hmm. It's a tutorial world. When you finish the first section, there's about 150 meg download. Okay, so there's a little bit more beyond that then.
Okay.
So that's good. I mean, it's interesting. I played. I hadn't gotten far enough. I did play a little bit here and there, and it seemed fun. But those connectivity issues were bad for that first night. And that's the problem with required online, right? It's really hard to do.
In a world where our computers or our PlayStations or whatever, I get it, but there's certainly times when, I don't know, I get it. I'm sure. To a certain extent I understand it, but yeah, when it interferes with something that, why does a puzzle game have to be always online? When Elder Scrolls Blades, I get. Right.
More, yeah. I mean,
or some of these games, like if you're playing like a multiplayer racer, I get. Puyo Puyo puzzle, I don't know that needed to be always
especially
online.
if you're not doing verses, right?
Sure,
obviously. Yeah. And there's ways you could really limit it down on the amount of verses that you would need that, right? There's many different ways to do it, but hey, they're the ones that make all the money. I can't really give them advice.
No, I mean, and even though I don't play a tremendous amount of mobile games anymore, this is one company where I still do, after all this time, I remember back at Real when you and I talked about it.
Yeah.
There was going to come a day when Nintendo may or may, get into the space. So now that we're actually here, I still do pay attention to their releases, right?
Yep.
So.
Well, you made me a little bit more mobile than you expect with Nintendo here. They just announced the Nintendo Switch Lite. Lite.
Yeah.
Yep. This was like long rumored, especially over the past few months. I mean, there's been accessories dropping out of China that are kind of built for a mini or a Lite. They were calling it the mini. Now it's actually officially the Lite. It's going to come in some fantastic colors. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They really don't look all that fun to me, but they look colorful. But they used to be transparent and all sorts of colors back with the GameCube and the GameCube really didn't have a ton. And N64 had the most.
N64 did.
3DS, Game Boy.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Yeah,
those were the ones that really had the colors. But And essentially, they're just going back to the Game Boy or a Nintendo DS.
Yeah, like
And that's really what we're looking at.
right. Yeah,
That's what it seems like. It does have a nice directional pad on there.
$200 doesn't connect to your TV.
Nope.
Joy-Cons don't pop off. Has
But
added
you can
D-pad.
hook Joy-Cons up to it.
Wirelessly.
Yeah,
correct.
wirelessly.
Yeah.
So you can still use certain games that needed the Joy-Con, so that's there.
Right.
Screen's decent. I mean, still
I actually-
5.5 inch or 5.8 inch. It's actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty decent screen.
It's slightly smaller, and I believe it. My understanding of this is that I think there's about a half-hour battery bump.
Yeah,
I
they
think it
said
actually
about
lasts-
a 20% increase.
Oh, okay, half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, but
Sure.
then, I've never really tested what they say the Switch was. The Switch was supposed to be 6 hours, the standard Switch. Up to 6 hours of
Yeah.
battery life. I think I only ever got like 3.5, 4. And I really only ever played it portable mode, like on Zelda. Not a ton beyond that.
the only time I ever even played that in portable mode was like outside of, I mean, we've mucked with it at, our desk when we were playing
Yeah.
like Cuphead or, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I played some portable mode when I was sitting there at night. I was just like unlocking Smash characters, just like mashing
Right, just doing whatever you need
or whatever. But I didn't. Mine kind of just sits in the dock, waiting to be played
Yeah.
for when the next game comes out.
So you don't have one, but you'd like one, Baltimore? Would you buy a Switch Lite, or would you go with the original Switch? Because I mean, in my opinion, I like the original Switch. But I also have a son. We both sit there and play it, and we just
Right.
snap off the Joy-Cons, and we can play 2-player, wherever we're at.
Here's the small. I get the factor. I would have liked to have seen a little less than $200 because I feel like once you buy the set of Joy-Cons, you're basically getting close to $300.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
if I was going to recommend one to someone that didn't have one, I would still recommend you get the one that goes to your TV. So you have both
Yeah.
options.
Baltimore said he'd just go light.
You would just go light. Interesting.
Not really worried about the TV connection. I like, I can tell you, I know a lot of like influencers and streamers are going to buy these because it's part of their job is to
Sure.
have the newest tech.
Yeah.
But there is no streaming technology in this thing. No way to capture the video really other than a top-down cam. So I can't really see it being that popular for them to capture footage on. They're obviously going to use it docked.
Right.
Kind of do what I did with like the Mario Maker 2 video and
Right.
stuff like that. But, I could definitely see people wanting this to... Honestly, no. I can't see anybody wanting this thing to carry it around if you have the other option. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I can see where if you don't worry about connecting it to your TV, having it to play in bed or on the toilet or whatever, that's where most gaming happens.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Where this makes a tremendous amount of sense for me is
Baltimore hasn't turned his TV on in 6 months. No wonder. That's why. I get it.
this makes sense to me if come November for $199, I gotta think there's one of these that comes with Pokemon, and I get it.
Well, there is
Right.
a Pokemon version of this coming in November.
with blue and red buttons. I haven't heard if the game's actually packed in though.
I don't know if it's packed in, but there is going to be a Pokemon version of this game.
I gotta think one of the games comes in the box.
I would think
And
so.
really just start flipping these things off the shelves, right?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Look what
Yeah.
they did with the, Zelda. I mean, honestly,
Right.
how much did
Yeah.
they get with that? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, what did we... I mean, I think we even got into the attach rate might have been... I would have to find the actual article on this. I think it might have been more than 100% because
Oh, yeah.
some people wanted the CE, couldn't get the CE, so they bought the regular one, waited for the CE, and ended up buying it twice because you got all the X, Y, and Z
Yep.
goodies with it.
Yep.
Every single person I know that has one of these bought Zelda. Every one of them.
Yeah, the attach rate.
No
was really
hyperbole here, right?
good. The attach rate was pretty powerful. There's no doubt.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was. So, good luck to Nintendo with that. I'm sure they'll sell a lot. I'm sure there'll be people buying them left and right. The
Oh,
only
yeah.
thing I wish is you could have got a D-pad, a standard D-pad like this one has
Yeah.
for the other Switch. That'd be nice. But they're not the only ones worried about, a smaller price point or a cheaper price point. Microsoft, and we're just using this as an example. Microsoft is potentially looking at doing their $60 console
Yes.
for basically streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's what you're looking at. The Game Pass product.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting to see that. I think that would be interesting. Oh, grabbing one. Oh, Baltimore's going to wait until they're $150. That's true. You probably get close to that on the Switch.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I think this is a neat idea. I mean, honestly, Brooks and I have talked about it. I've had a Shield for years.
Right.
In both of them. And, NVIDIA's got their streaming service, which is very similar to Game Pass and all these others. And it's actually a little bit better in my mind because it can connect to Steam. So you can play all of your Steam library basically over a nice fat broadband connection.
And it's not kind of connected to Steam. It's got like a backbone pipeline on the thing, right? Some of those game installs are out of control.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how fast you can do it. So, I mean, I definitely see them being able to sell a product like a cheap version of the Nintendo or the Xbox and just get away from worrying about HD or 4K HDR and just providing a really solid 1080p connection.
So here's what I know of this. So you can correct me if this
does remind me of the Moga. Yeah.
If this is a little bit off base, is that I heard originally the next Xbox there was going to be two of them. A super premium machine.
Yes.
And then a kind of mid-range machine. And then developers were like, And again, there's a lot of hearsay in this, but a lot of developers were like, we don't really like the lowest common denominator here.
Yeah, no. I think they get left out if they just go with that.
So on this one, what I find attractive about this isn't really a lowest common denominator. This is we've taken that xCloud solution and been, okay, to your point, if you want the super beefy thing and you want to play locally, cool.
Yep.
If you can deal with a little bit of maybe the occasional hiccup, you've got this one, and that price point is pretty sweet.
It is pretty attractive.
$60, there's games that cost more than $60 at this point, right?
Oh,
so
if they can get that in and they can, I would love to see them do, my advice would be pack the damn thing in. If you buy if you buy Xbox Live Ultimate Pass or whatever for a year, you get the $60 Xbox device included.
Right.
I mean, that's where they're going to have to go with this. They really want to beat out Stadia and have a chance to be like the leaders. They're going to have to go aggressive.
Right.
I think just too many competitors already.
Right.
I mean, Microsoft and Google may think they're the only ones there, but Sony's got a nice offering. NVIDIA, if that GeForce thing launches out beyond beta, that thing is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There are so many competitors, and this is not a hard thing to replicate. Right? Like, it's not, broadband is what you need, and then the rest of the tech is, there's many companies probably buying or building some type of streaming tech.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not like it's not the future. You don't think Stadia is going to do all that well? I think it's going to. I think if they open things up to where you can play games on your PC or through Steam like Nvidia does, and you don't have to just buy brand new games through Stadia, they've got a pretty good chance. I think that if you're buying Stadia games for $60 and you're paying them whatever their monthly fee is, $10 a month, $9 a month.
Right.
That, they're not going to have enough content. Although they say they have 4,000 people that have contacted them.
4,000 developers.
I'd be afraid that 3,600 of those, 3,700 of those are all mobile developers.
Right.
And, 300-400 are actually like indie devs. And AAA companies and all that. And that really, the amount of time to get things up and running, to get things focused, you're not going to deliver thousands of games day one, I wouldn't think. I think you're going to see few hundred available, some big titles, and then you're going to gradually grow and build that.
I guess the way I'm with you on that. The way I guess I also see Stadia is I don't think their opening salvo is trying to convince the core of the core to jump ship. I think
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I think their opening salvo is a little more like let's shoot a little wider, whether you want to play on a phone or on a laptop screen or on a desktop screen or on a TV. So I've had to change my tune about this a little bit because I actually think it's rather interesting, but it's like I could see not necessarily like the people that play Fortnite, but maybe people that don't necessarily need to have like X, Y, and Z latest, or like I gotta play locally, because that's how I am. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, it'd be such a bummer if we were playing and then like the game would dip, or like somebody gets on my network and they're watching iTunes and we're watching Amazon.
And now you're playing at 320p.
Yeah, and I'm over here on PS5 or whatever, being like, man, so it's.
I do see the advantages of it. I can tell you that it is really cool to be able to play one of your games, like a brand new PC game, from a server on that NVIDIA with a controller connected to it, and I'm sitting out in the lunchroom playing away.
Right.
And I can even record on the device.
Right.
The only thing that NVIDIA doesn't have is what they're claiming they have, where you can just stop playing on something like this setup that you see on the screen, and then you can just turn on your TV and it instantly starts right in that same spot.
Right.
That's attractive, but is it attractive enough to spend that kind of money? I don't know. Microsoft's got to make sure they're at least on par with feature sets. That's where I think that they've got to, really win. They've got already the brand recognition. They've already got the credibility that, they do make okay stuff.
Right.
At least for gaming. And, they've already got a good hook on this, the xCloud. So
they Microsoft's got some, I think, stronger first-party content. I haven't actually seen. I know Google is working on building a studio or studios.
Oh, sure.
I haven't actually seen any, like, what do we call it? Google original or.
It's not like they don't have the money, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. They'll be able to fund it if they really want to go down the road and buy their way in. It's quite possible. So. But yeah, I agree, Baltimore. I mean, you have to pay the monthly fee if you want 4K, right? You don't have to pay it if you just want the basic non-4K.
We have a couple units on the way. Miguel ordered a couple for the office. So I think we're going to be trying this. When this machine goes on sale, I suspect we'll buy one for $60 or whatever and check it out. Right.
Yeah, we'll even try them on stream. Who cares? Yeah. We'll check it out. Talking about all this console stuff and all the things that we don't know, on brand new consoles that we don't know and brand new services, do you know that there's something that most people didn't know on a system that's 5 years old?
I didn't know about this. I had no idea.
Today, the internet lost its mind and could not believe. So let's set the stage for this. You're playing a game on PlayStation 4. You have. You're a trophy hunter. You're interested in all this stuff. You feel like you're always out there as the go-getter to get these trophies. And you go to check your trophy list of like what you need to get for, Uncharted. And there's one that says hidden trophy. And you're like, damn, I wish I knew what that was. And it's so hard to go grab my phone to check out on internet what that is. A lot of people did not know you can just hit square on the controller and it reveals what that hidden trophy is.
What's funny about this is I got to a point in Sekiro where I was playing, and I actually got to a point where I was like, okay, basically with one more play and a save, I will have everything. And I was going through those hidden trophies, and I was trying to figure them out online and trying to like line them up. And there was a couple I was like, I eventually figured out, like 20 minutes later.
Sure.
But yeah, that would have been nice. Press square. And had no idea.
You'd have figured it out. Yeah, no, that's been there. You're a serious trophy hound. You'd have known that.
Play for the love of the game.
Right.
Right.
Don't hate the player. Something like that.
You know that. you know this. Maybe people watching don't. I don't. Trophies, they come and go in my games. Occasionally, we'll try to chase them down. But I think I only have one platinum, and it's like one of the destinies. Only by sheer like
brute force.
Well, by time I have the thing, right? There's a bunch that I'm like, there's some other those games like the Division games I'm like 1 or 2 away from, but I usually don't go that extra mile to try to go for the platinum. But
yeah, they tried to hide it, Baltimore, and they really didn't hide it. It's just nobody messed around with it, but it's been around. But then all of a sudden, just like the bottle cap challenge, it went viral.
But yeah, Baltimore. There's no like when you hover over it, it doesn't be like press X to reveal, right?
No, or square
So-
or whatever. Yeah, no, I thought that was funny and just laughed a little bit. I'm sure there'll be memes or something coming down the road for it. Funny enough, one of the final things that we were going to talk about is essentially, we're big fans of all the different like Detroit and those style games.
Yeah,
and PlayStation obviously has had the majority of those from Supermassive and all that. So essentially, this has been announced, and it's the Dark Pictures Man of Medan.
Yes.
Medan. And this is a, 6-part?
So Supermassive has said this is an 8-part anthology.
8-part where it basically breaks out, and it's a horror suspense horror.
For anyone that hasn't played any of their other games, they've got Until Dawn. I believe that was their most recent game. They did that Bravo Team, which was actually a VR game, had nothing to do with
Yeah,
this.
funny enough, we were talking about that earlier.
But for anyone unfamiliar, they border on playable movies or playable TV shows.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I mean it's really, it draws you in. It's mainly, it's all well written. Right?
Yep.
None of the stories have been bad. And essentially, they're going to break these out. It's not episodic content. Not in the idea of like the story continues exactly from the last point you left off.
My understanding is they're self-contained.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 mini episodes that all have a theme together.
So instead of one 20 or 25-hour game, it's more like, I think they said they're trying to do one every 6 months, and they're a little more ingestible, more like I mean, don't quote me directly on this. I think they're more like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, somewhere
type of thing.
there. And this is funny. We were talking last night, just in a PlayStation chat. We were chatting with a buddy of ours, Scott, and we were saying, like, I think I had raised it. I'm like, I just don't have time to play 60-hour games.
Yeah, we just talked about this, right?
And, I feel like games have kind of gotten out of hand in terms of the amount of hours that you can play them.
Right.
Not that it's bad to have a lot of gameplay. I'm not saying that, but I don't like games that are like 60 hours with 30 hours of grinding in the middle.
Right.
Right? Or filler. Like, wouldn't it just be better to play a 20 to 30 minute or 20 to 30 hour strong game, right? Where it's just 100% all the way through. And those are hard to do. But, smaller quickly digestible games that can be played in 5 to 8 hours, like Resident Evils and hell, even the Call of Duty like single player campaigns, right? Those have been really good and fun. Mm-hmm. Right? They put action in them. Whether the writing's the best on the Call of Duty, that can be debated, but you do have like a good time, and it's easy to play through 6 hours, right? Of that, and you get to see the end. Sometimes it's a little tough to see the end of a 60, 100-hour game like Red Dead 2 or
we brought up
Days Gone.
We brought up Red Dead
Witcher.
last night, which is 106 missions, and the fast travel is. I mean, you're not. There is some fast travel, but I mean, the slog on that was like I probably spent. The last 10 hours of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that game was gorgeous and I loved it, but towards the end of that, I'm sitting there and I'm like, whew.
And funny enough, Baltimore makes a point. He's like, by the time you get to the end of it, it's really hard to remember what started the whole damn thing. I Red Dead 2 is like one that you remember because it's such a really theatrical intro to the.
It's like they're epic, right?
I mean those. I will give it that game was. There wasn't a lot of filler in that game. Like there was
everything is purposeful. Yeah.
But it takes 7 years to build that game.
Yeah.
Right. And same thing with Bethesda's games and all that. But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how well this does. Having like little digestible parts of it, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours long, you can play through. I mean, that's like a Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 7 is not much longer, right? In the end. So the really good ones you remember, yeah, that's true. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, that one pretty powerful.
Tell you what happens.
Yeah, he played through all of the episodes, or all the missions. And that's about it for news. I think we can move on to the games. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget, just so everybody knows, lots of good deals probably on there. Not that we're promoting it, but we were laughing about it. Like, there are going to be so many good video game deals out there. I'm sure you'll find something for you.
And even that's not even necessarily on Amazon. That's like, I think all the competing stores has got Wall Prime and Game Prime and Costco Prime and like whatever, you know, I mean, it's all over the place.
It's all over, and there's a lot of partners that have some really interesting deals out there for console stuff and that. So, well, I think we can jump into what we've got new. Well, we did, you know, we kind of ran out of time really between like all the new games we were launching.
Right.
And then like we were running into like July 4th, and July 4th was going to be a whole, 4 days. Well, we're going to miss a show. Then we had 4 days off, and then now we're finally back into it. And there were so many good games that we didn't hit that I kind of thought we'd go showcase some of those, and then we're going to play tonight Trident's Wake, which is a game we wanted to play prior to the show before. But then what game?
We tried to play two different times.
Yeah. Freak Out came up, and we were like, oh yeah, we should play that one. And then it just didn't work before the 4th of July. So we wanted to hit that, and we're going to play that one after we're done.
And then there was another one a couple weeks before that. I don't think it was American Fugitive, but it might have been. So
yeah, I think that one did get pushed. So let's jump into it. So the first one, if you're not a huge fan of RPGs, you may never have heard of Super Neptunia. This was I want to say we're really like a PlayStation 3, not exclusive, but they were on the PS3, and that's where I remember seeing them the most.
I was not familiar with this franchise until recently.
Yeah, these were really, they're kind of well, what are they? They kind of make fun of them.
Hazy.
The characters make fun of like self-awareness within the games.
I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
So like Neptuna is the kind of the character that's your heroine, and she knows she's in a game, and she kind of knows she's the lead character, so she kind of makes fun of herself as she goes through the game. In this game, it carries forward, right? There's also the Neptunia shooter that we have, which is more of like a side-scrolling shooter.
Well, and the villain is trying to collapse the 3D world to bring it back to a 2D world.
Yes, which is where they start.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
So it surprised me. I didn't know that they were coming out with another of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen, Humble Bundle doing a bundle deal on like all the Neptunia all the Neptunia franchise for
my instincts
for PC a while back, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting that they're bringing that out. The games haven't been really around for a long time.
It must be defeated.
I laughed about it, and then obviously one of our partners brought this to us. But first we saw Neptunia shooter. And we were laughing about that. I'm like, oh, this is funny. It's just a very simple shooter.
Don't
We
need
played
to say it more than once.
and it plays very well.
Annoying.
It's hard. And I was like, that's just really an odd coincidence. And then all of a sudden they dropped this on us.
Right.
And we were laughing, like, okay. It's kind of funny. The build-up that was there that really wasn't. I don't know if it was
what
not.
What are you doing here?
It really wasn't apparent
Hell
that
if I know.
a new game was
You're
coming
in
out
trouble,
in the
right?
franchise.
We're here to
with
help.
all of that stuff, even for somebody that knew the game.
Right.
We may
So
not
that
know
was
our
it's
enemy,
kind of a
but we will
kind
be
of a weird
victorious
deployment.
if we
But the
fight
game
together.
looks amazing in terms of like comparison to what it
really
was
get
to
what's
what it
going on
made it
here,
to
but
here. This is more
all
like
right.
a 2.5D
Enough
hand-drawn
Right.
Let's do this.
background kind of
Sink.
anime style gameplay, and it does bounce around in certain parts of the game. You do see it in more of a 2D, what you'd consider a 2D perspective. Didn't really show that here because the game is, obviously for an RPG, it's a little bit longer, so it's a little bit to get into. But we did get this for the service. You can sit there and check it out. Oh, I'll throw the link into chat, by the way. But you've never played any of these, though. You never tried.
No, I hadn't. I hadn't even heard of this until recently.
Okay, because they had like
So-
Hyperdimension, Neptunia, and I'm trying to think what other ones I have. But these were all PS3.
Right.
I want to say NIS America was the publisher. I could be wrong. I have to look that up. But I don't know if you can grab that over there and see if that's what it says. But I thought they were very famous for bringing over a lot of these unique games to the PS3, like porting them over, bringing them to the US. And I thought that they were the ones that deployed Hyperdimension.
Drown! Get in the way! Burn!
Could be wrong.
Disappear!
But if you weren't a big PS3 fan, you probably kind of it just passed over, right? It was more or less, as far as I know, only on that up until
Try
Yeah,
again.
there's this. It looks like there's an interesting because it's
Thanks
like
for the help. Hey,
developed
so
by
where did you all-
Compile, and at some point, Compile did a little bit of publishing. Somehow,
Blackheart,
Koei Tecmo was involved.
Whiteheart,
NIS
Greenheart.
did it as well.
NIS was involved as well. They might have done. There might have
Where
been
are you?
like 2 or 3 or 4, or sorry. I think there's 3 games on the PS3.
Resolutions.
So it could have been they
Interferences.
published the first one,
But they're
somebody else published the second one, and the last one that I remember was published by like NIS.
Neptunia, Neptunia Mark II, Neptunia Victory. Yeah. And it was depending on which territory you're in, NIS
The
did,
different, yeah.
did English, so like
Sink,
NAEU,
That usually was their
Compile
Sink,
was
sink,
JP,
sink,
and then
sink.
Idea Factory got in
What are you?
when PS4 and
None of you
PC
can
got
leave.
involved.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, okay.
You
Yeah.
like playing the
Sink
older
into the
PlayStation?
ocean
Oh, I
of
loved Legend of
oblivion,
Dragoon.
goddesses.
Yeah, no doubt, Baltimore. That was an excellent game, man. That was 4 discs, I think, back in the day. That game was long, but it was amazing. That was one of them. Wild Arms was a really good RPG on PS1. Wild Arms 2. Suikoden. 1 and 2 were amazing on there. Those games go for some money. They're a little pricey now these days. And then I was trying to think. What was the other one that I played? Wild Arms, Suikoden, Legend of Dragoon. Chrono Cross.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. And then obviously Square
this house
had
was
its
abandoned.
other, massive amount of
Hey, you!
Final
Wake up!
Fantasies and everything else, Anthology that hit on there, and
Right. Yeah.
every game that was on there. Yeah, no, Transform in that game, yeah,
What did
back
you say?
then,
Come on,
I
get
would
up!
probably say Legend of Dragoon was the most advanced. Did you ever
Okay.
play it?
No.
You weren't a PlayStation guy. You were Nintendo.
Yeah, I wasn't a PlayStation guy until, I don't know, GTA.
Yeah,
Whatever,
because you would have
63
probably
or
played
whatever.
this game if you had a PlayStation. It was they were pretty good, but yeah,
I'll
I
be
mean,
asking the questions.
once you got to
This house
PlayStation
is marked as
2,
abandoned.
there was tons of
I'll have to change that if someone's living here now.
RPGs on there. as
Oh,
well.
yeah, definitely.
And then they
Please
still
hand me
carried
your
on to
software for the
PlayStation 2. You just
municipal
don't see a
tax.
lot anymore. I mean, Nino Kuni
come
is
again?
probably the most, or the biggest one I can
What?
say on
You
like,
need to pay your taxes.
PS4.
Hurry up! I have more houses to
And
check.
even that's not really traditional anymore.
Taxes?
Yeah,
What are you even talking about?
what I've heard or read of this is that
Are you stupid? It's your civic duty.
those
You paid 2D game
that
taxes
style
before,
of
right?
game where you're kind of more locked in, more turn-based. I don't want to say it fell out of style, but as games became more modernized and you got free control, free movement,
Yep.
real-time combat, once you got a taste of that, it's a little sometimes it can be difficult to go
Let's go
backwards, right?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head for real-time combat.
Right.
Because we've got another RPG that we wanted to show that came through, and a lot of people have seen this one. I'm sure if you follow PC games or Steam, the Metronomic Home,
Right.
which is essentially
For
a
now, though, you have your first
rhythm-based
assignment to carry out.
RPG
Mm-hmm.
that where the
As you are all
the
well
real-time
aware, our primary
turn-based
mission is the
combat
investigation
is
and
flipped around
cessation
to
of these
a
mysterious dance phenomena.
real-time rhythm-based combat.
It is only
Yes.
by mastering the same
It
forces
is-
from which these dangers
It is
are
really
spawned
entertaining.
that we have any chance to
The-
do
the way
battle
that
with
I would-
these monsters, fiends,
I would
and
basically
party animals.
take
So,
Crypto the
It is
Necrodancer.
fortuitous timing that the latest of
and
these parties has just sprung up
What's
nearby.
the other game that I could imagine.
Go
it
forth.
being.
Take our Metronomic Home.
Dragon's Crown.
Okay.
To the
And
wild
slam
forest.
those two together.
Subdue this unholy rebel.
And that's this game right
return
here.
safely
The
to our
Metronomic
lands.
Home. It's again like that. It's almost like the marionette style movement or character animation. But the game actually has a very strong RPG battle component to it.
Right.
The rhythm-based gameplay is very interesting because it's difficult. I mean, you're switching between like 4 different characters, and there's a rhythm to the switching just as much as there's a
We were
rhythm to
talking
the
about
actual like
this.
gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Baltimore. He dropped the link in the chat. Sweet. Thanks, man.
And then it's got the,
So yeah, you can see that here. You can hear the music's actually really good.
and then it's kind of got that, whether you want to call it DDR or amplitude or
Yes.
whichever flavor of that style of game. you
Yeah,
wanna-
pick one and whatever your fancy is, and then that's basically what you're dealing with. That kind of rhythm-based mechanic. And then you can obviously get more powers. You do have kind of your figure. You have your at the beginning near the crazy dancing bear. That's your mage. The guy behind him is your healer. Then you've got, or I guess that's your wizard mage. Then you've got your paladin, and then you've got your tank or your fighter.
Right.
That's basically their classes. And it can get pretty challenging because, again, you can do the moves. You see it on the fighter right now. He's getting ready to drop his attack. Then you've got to jump off of him because he runs out of his attack. So you've got to move to who you need next, which is the example, the healer here. And then I bounce to the paladin, and you're just doing this left and right while you're playing the game.
Right.
It is definitely interesting. It can get tough. And I was playing just on the beginning missions and having a little bit of a challenge.
I hadn't played a rhythm/combat game. Probably the last one I sat down and played. There's a couple parts of this game that remind me a lot of this Dreamcast game I played called Guitar Man, where you're fighting
yeah.
against this thing.
Yeah.
It's got a health bar and like you're kind of doing you're doing damage and you're fighting him, but not in a traditional way,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, I remember Guitar. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was.
So the other thing about this is if you're not able to beat the enemies as they're coming up, they all compound on top of you. So if you're not managing it, if you're not beating them fast enough, they just start coming in. And you just saw when I lost there was maybe 6 or 7 enemies. No, probably 3 or 4 enemies that were
Okay.
all attacking me at one time. So you've got to you can't miss your targets. You
Right.
can't miss your hits. You got to keep them on. It's definitely got a neat mechanic. I enjoyed it. I was really impressed. I was sitting there thinking, man, this is a really good game. I'm surprised that I didn't really hear about this too much. Nice.
Right, yeah. It's kind of funny. I'd be curious what because you can get to a point in the game where you start playing like challenging mode and ranked mode and or
Yep.
ladder mode or whatever. I imagine this just gets brutally difficult.
I would have
I gotta
to.
think. Yeah.
I would have to imagine. I'm going to play more into it. I'm actually going to play a little bit further this weekend. Maybe even do a video recording. Not beat it, but get a little bit more time in on it. And put that up because it's definitely well worth it. Yeah, the mage, she actually has a special move where if you see how it goes from blue to red or pink. If you can go to the pink level, then you use her more powerful spell, which is the flame.
Okay.
If you just do the blue, it's a like water-based spell. And then there's this component of like enemies have a certain aversion to like elemental stuff.
Weaknesses of some
Yeah.
kind, or-
So you gotta know who you're actually fighting.
You get like gear and items and things like that as you're playing.
You do. Yeah. And I actually was using the controller. So Baltimore just said dance pad. I'm not sure if you can hook the dance pad up to it. I'm pretty sure you could. But I was actually using the controller. And I went in and used the Steam controller so I could configure it to the right type of buttons. But yeah, I could definitely see this being crazy on the dance pad. Welcome, Joe. The bear's hilarious. All the enemies dance too. It's across the board. It's all the it's entertaining,
Right.
for sure. It's definitely a fun game. I was, like I said, I was shocked when we got it. I had never seen this game because usually I try to keep up on them. This is the tree or earth. So this guy's I forget what his version is.
Oh, I gotta think fire.
I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, like random gas.
Yeah,
but
like it's plant burning.
that Pokemon
They
game
have
or two.
programs that let you dance pad emulate the controller. That's I could imagine it would be pretty tough.
I haven't played on it. I haven't played a game on a dance pad in a really long time.
So see, I was able to take them down here. So this is kind of like you get your skill points, you get all your stuff, your upgrades, level ups. Then you go back and you can just go straight in. You got the leaderboard on the right hand side in the corner. And that's kind of, another factor of like doing better and going back and replaying
People
missions.
that are just sick at the game or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
And everybody else that hacks it probably.
Right.
Whatever. You do have like a little, like, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a hub world kind of thing where you start to get other
Yeah, like an
stuff.
overworld
Yeah.
of some kind. Yeah.
So it's definitely a fun game. It's well worth checking out. I was surprised how good it was. I wasn't surprised, but I thought, oh, this is going to be an interesting mechanic, very similar to what was the other one, Double Kick Heroes we showed
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
It's got a cool, kind of rhythm-based mechanic, but that one I really liked. That was actually more like playing DDR in an RPG. It was interesting. Yeah, the music doesn't suck, and as far as I know, you can actually go buy additional tracks, as far as I'm aware. Like
Okay.
there's DLC that you can go. There's one free for it, so I think it's for the holidays, like a holiday themed like music pack. And then there's other ones that you go buy.
Yeah, because my recollection on this might be fuzzy. Didn't they actually release the game and then I think they dumped a bunch of free content and they kind of did like a re-release of the game?
I want to say so.
Where they they gave it was like Metronomicon and then it was like Metronomicon and they gave it like a tagline next to it, I believe.
Yep.
So
the next game we're going to talk about, if you like shooters, it's not rhythm based, but it's kind of it's an interesting, fun game from Daedalic. It's called Shooting Star. I think it's what, $4?
yeah, let me double.
This one, I was able, because I love shooters, I played through this one a good bit. If they'll only be showing battle type games on the show. Oh no. We show all sorts of stuff. This one here, if you like shooters, if you like pop culture and memes and things like that, this is the game. I think we have it.
Yeah.
And it's actually reminiscent. What it reminded me of was when we were playing. What was that? Where we played a co-op. I played it for so long.
Was it personal or stream?
This is when we were on the street. More
like Tower. The other one where one of us was the main dude, the other one was
no, this was a side-scrolling shooter. Stellaris.
Yes.
No, not Stellaris. I'm thinking of. Damn. It is like a bullet hell shooter, kind of like a bullet hell shooter, but it reminded me very much of that.
Doesn't help that I'm sitting here not remembering it either.
I know. Or typing into the computer.
Right. Right.
It doesn't help. But this game goes through, and you see all these famous kind of characters playing each level at the end boss. Like, this is the guy that did that Korean song.
Okay. Isn't his name Psy?
Psy, yeah. Psy is that. There's Justin Belieber is in this instead of Justin Bieber.
Norris, I think.
Chuck Norris is the end boss. Yeah, no, it's a very fun game. It also has Lady Gaga, what they call her Lady or something like that in the game. It's just different music characters at the end of each level. It's like pop culture there. So
Right.
And the weapons get pretty ridiculous, the ones that you get access to. They get really super powerful quick. And it was just a great experience. It was a fun game. Probably has, there's obviously some replay value, but I would imagine the price point is based on, it's a short game.
Yeah, I think they tout, I think there's between items and weapons, you end up with like a completely different thing.
That sounds about
swap
right.
between.
Yeah, there was a lot, actually. Far more than I expected to be in there. There is definitely a lot of weapons upgraded. There's bonus power weapons too that are really ridiculous. It's like circular saw blades and then smiley faces that do like bullet hell shooter with
Right.
lots of funny different things. Like I said, really just sat there and enjoyed it because I thought, I love shooters, and this one really caught me off guard as well. Dalek did a great job. Now this one, Trident is the game. Trident.
That's what it was.
Trident is the game that I was thinking of playing. This game we have wrapped. Yeah, so you can try it for free if you're interested. 30 minutes, probably get to Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I played a chip of this as we opened it up live and going and whatnot.
And yeah, Jonah, it definitely is like one of the older, I say Trident because of the design of the game, the explosions that are happening and that kind of thing, because it's very reminiscent of the way Trident played and the graphics kind of quality. But you're right, it's far more like Space Invaders or Galaga or Galaxy. It's definitely that way. The enemy movements are even very similar. Oh, to make maybe we can convince the team to the website to make a smaller section to showcase the show. We've been talking about that. Yeah, there's a way. There's actually, if you're looking only for games on WildTangent, there's actually a trick, and I'll show you. If you go to this site, if I can remember it correctly, we'll type it in. Got it? Click on that site. You'll see a totally different experience for what's visible on the front page. It's not the exact same thing that you're talking about, Baltimore, where we would make like an actual page where it's just the games we're showcasing today. But you're right. We should do something like that. I think that'd be good. But yeah, if you want to check out this game, I'm going to pull up the link to it, and you'll be able to find it. Like I said, you can play the game completely free for 30 minutes, just to see if you like it. It's a fun game. And it's from a good company. Dalek makes some really quality stuff. We've been showcasing a lot of their games this past month, because we had just signed them on board, and they have 40 or 45 games.
Yeah, and it's, I know that in some circles they're kind of known for good games, but they've actually pushed their games kind of across genres, and then even with kind of introducing different things.
Yeah, this shooter, Jonah. Yeah, this one moves. You can go up above the boss. You can move anywhere you want around the board. That's the special I have there is the bounce buddy, where it shoots out a ton and then it bounces all over. That's his third spot. Must have something to do with that. I didn't notice the pattern when the bullets are coming down. It's like a 3 and a 5 with the shooting.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
I'm sure it's some hidden thing that was basically about how his character or something. Oh, the acid sun. Yeah, watch when I fire this one. This reminds me of Ikaruga.
Okay.
It's like you've got all the weapons though, of Ikaruga.
Right.
That's always
Right.
shooting at you. I don't know why. think I used it. Oh, there's some awesome ones. It was fun. I was actually trying all of them for video, but I would have probably kept the best one that I found was probably the circular saw. That thing. Let's jump out of this and just do this one up. And I think we're gonna look at one more game real quick, and then we'll start playing some Trident's Week. So the last one we were gonna show. Now Brooks and I have some experience with this game. Little too much of it. If you like hearing your character poop, this is the game for you. Ark is a survival game. Now survival games really became popular in like 2014, 2015.
Sure.
You know, everybody was making one and everybody was playing one. They still make a lot of them. But Ark was one that stood out, and it's basically you get dropped on an island. Mm-hmm. You start out with nothing, and you've got to build like your tools, and you got to punch some wood, and you got to punch some stone.
Right.
You just basically start making tools, and then sheds, and then building all your stuff, and then you're on to building boats and capturing dinosaurs and training them.
No big story here.
No
it's
real big
kinda
story.
Your story.
Yeah, now this is base Ark that we're showcasing here.
This is
not
not the
Scorched
DLCs.
Earth or any of the DLCs, which do add other things in
Right.
and a little bit more depth. This game was just really fun, and it was easy to play with people. You know, they have 1,000 plus servers, I think, that are just Ark dedicated servers.
Oh yeah.
And then of course you can always pay for your own server.
Yeah,
we played it on. Well, I played it on PC for a long time.
Yeah, you and a couple people had played, and then
Thanks, Paul.
How did I get tangled up this? It released on PlayStation. That's
what it was.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. And then we started beating the drum, and next thing you knew, we had a PlayStation chat, and then another play. We had two running at one point because
We had so many people. We got I used an extra PS4 that I had.
That's right. You had the
And we bought we all like pulled money together and bought like a PlayStation Plus membership for it.
That's right. So
And
it could sit online all day.
game-
Yeah.
Or no, we didn't have to buy the game because I was able to put the game on.
Because you had done the child licensing thing.
Yeah, the licensing thing. So we ran my extra PlayStation 4 as our own dedicated server for this.
Right.
And I mean, there were people on there 24 hours a day. It sounded like.
Yeah, there were people. We would be at work, and someone would like ping you or ping me.
Yeah,
and then
the
it'd be
server-
like, you talk to Greg, and it's just like, okay, yeah, we'll get right on that from Redmond.
Yeah,
As
they
if-
were like, there was an update on the
As
game.
if-
We need to reset the
As
server.
if there's just an admin because at the time you were living you had your place over in Bothell,
Yeah.
right?
Thank God I had internet there. We
So-
could never have played on. We couldn't have even played a 4-bit version of this game on the internet that I have out in Index. But no, it was really fun, and people actually had a lot of good time. And I used to do this on my Twitch channel with everybody as well. So I don't know, Baltimore, if you'd ever played this. I don't think you ever played on the servers that I had. I would actually pay for them, and then we would play it on the stream live. But that was pretty fun. I've enjoyed this game. It's a little ridiculous in the amount of time you can sink into it. Like, here, this is basically just at the beginning of the game. I'm unlocking certain things that I can build. You get a very limited amount of things, like resources that you can turn into, the components to build the different items, like the hut or the clothes or the weapons or the pickaxe or the axe. So your choices are very slim at the beginning, but then as you get further in, man, we were doing crazy expeditions up to the top of the planet or the top of the map, where you had to build like these floating fortresses that would carry your smelters and that would carry all this other stuff. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I remember that you didn't really join in on a lot of that stuff, but it was fun, man. I wish you would have had a chance. Hopefully, in the future, we'll be doing some of that here on this. We've been thinking about turning not just the Wild Tangent show into obviously a news game and, playing some games. But Brooks and I were talking about like doing a little bit more where we'd actually set up servers and stuff for people to play games, and we'd kind of pick something. So hopefully in the future we can all do that together. It'd be fun. Throwing a Discord together and just having people chat while we're streaming it. It might have been before, we had ran into each other on Twitch. I'm not 100% sure. But it was fun. It's a lot of entertainment in one little game. And you make your own fun, essentially. It's all I can say. I was telling him about like building up, basically the floating fortress that we could take up north, hunt the penguins. You'd have smelters on there. You'd have like all the tools and everything you needed. And it gets even more ridiculous because there's a flying dinosaur in the game that is big enough that you can build a house on top of its back.
Yeah.
And that becomes, you never have to touch the ground at that point. That's your flying fortress.
Right, yeah. We also knew a couple guys that took this to another, got into the whole Giga scene and the tech armor game and just like...
Yeah, they went to the end game parts and things like that. I've never even seen the end game stuff. And I've played it for years.
Yeah, no, we got to a point where we were playing with... We won't name names, but there was a certain someone, known loser of dinos.
Yeah.
And we'd come back and we would spend all day. And like we even had that on that server, because we played on one server where I think we even bent the rules a little bit. On how quickly mating and stuff.
Yeah.
We'd come back and be like, oh, like where's Jerry? And it was like, okay, look. Jerry went for a walk, and Jerry didn't come home.
Jerry the dinosaur, the door was left open, and Jerry like ran away. Yeah, we lost a lot of dinos.
Oh gosh!
After some folks had too much to drink in the evening, they would let the dinos go after all that work. Because in the game, you have to actually sit there. You have to capture a dinosaur, then you have to kind of subdue the dinosaur. Then you have to get the dinosaur like as your pet.
Yes.
And then you can use the dinosaur as a tool.
Right.
Like to go like collect berries or to go like tear down wood.
Certain ones are amazing at X.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the game is ridiculously deep, and the dinosaurs become like these machines that you're using, and then they become these war machines. It just goes ridiculously far and wide in terms of what you can do.
One thing I never did that I always wanted to is we were inching there with our mobile base, and we were like, get to the penguins to keep going up north, and then instead of keep going up north, I think we went in to go to the top of the metal mountains. I never touched the caving. That was one thing in this I'd always heard about, but I've still to this day never done.
Yeah, because it took a while just to get to that level, and then that's even one step away from like the end game stuff.
Yeah, because I got to we had like grappling hooks, so we could really move around, but there's a whole other level of that was just that caving thing. I always wanted to. We didn't get there.
It's a fun game, and definitely Jonah. Yeah, it's definitely, it looks awesome, and it really does look good. The game itself is pretty. This is what you're seeing it on though is a machine that's like a 2080 NVIDIA card. It's running pretty smooth at like 60 frames, 4K.
Yeah, PS4 doesn't look this good. Nor can you see across the map. Yeah,
this has like extended, viewing distance and all sorts of stuff, but. On PC, it looks really good. On PS4, it looks really good.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I'm glad that... I don't know that it would have been a little tougher for me to play had I just played alone, so I do think that I got the benefit of a couple things. A, playing with people, but I also played with people like you and I think John maybe had played before, so we kind of had a leg.
I want to say there was a few of us.
We had a leg up on knowledge. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if it was 7 guys with
when I started
rock hatchets. You showed up with the boat, and we were like day one. You had this raft, and then like because we did the guild merge thing, and then you accidentally lost the boat like right then and there.
Right. Yeah. And it like wiped everything out. But yeah, there was a lot to it.
Right.
Yeah, I can tell you, I think we've got it for a cheap price. I don't know what it is, like 24 or something like that when it's with the member discount. But you can find it cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's if you can get it for the right, I would say this, it's worth it to play by yourself.
Okay.
Because it can be fun. But if you can get a group of people you know to play,
Right.
it just gets to be really fun and ridiculous because it's it's basically like a giant sandbox and you can go do whatever you want. We never even really went into the water. Like we stayed on the top of the water.
Right.
There was a
Right.
whole nother world underneath, like to go diving for stuff in those caves and that stuff that you were talking about.
There were a couple nights that got out of hand because before I had joined business or content or whatnot, John would be like, "Look, okay, tomorrow's Friday. I don't got a lot going on, so how about you just go in late and we're gonna finish this build." And I'm like, "John, it's 2." And he's like, "Look, the build doesn't finish itself.
Right.
Okay.
We've got to build this fortress to hold these dinosaurs, and then you can go in at like 2:00. and do
Gosh,
your real
that was
job.
so outrageous.
Is it a character game? Does everyone play? So it is a character game. It's basically like you can make your character look however you want. Mm-hmm. There's a random generator that you can just sit and run through, or you can go through and, like in Fallout, you can adjust their cheekbone style and their color, their skin, and everything. And it's not just like the character's name John, and John is the only character, and then you get versions. You create your character. There is no name for that character, and you just play as that person through the entire game. So, but it's your creation.
Yeah, and then as pretty much everything you see, there is ways that you can open up chests or find, because what are those things that drop out of the sky that everybody races towards?
Oh yeah, what did they call? Were those called the arcs? No,
the arc was the giant thing
that's
in the
the
center.
thing in the center. Those were the. Oh, it's right on top of my tip of my tongue. It's like a sphere or a diamond or something like that is what it was called. That you would go and grab.
Orbital supply drop.
Is that it?
Supply drops. Yeah.
Supply drops. They looked like a pendant kind of jewel.
And it slowly fell down almost like a kind of like if like a hot air balloon was descending. So you would see it in the distance and it would be like 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta hustle over there. Somebody go hustle and get that because it would
Right.
have like supplies and extra stuff and sometimes good gear or
And it was sort
recipes.
And you really have to. It's a big long game of progression. You got to be careful because when you die, your stuff is on the ground, and you better remember where that stuff is.
Or you better be able to get to it because sometimes you die right next to a T-Rex.
So, yeah, or another
And he's
person.
not leaving for some reason.
Yeah, so
it was a fun game.
Yeah, I was ultimately, even though we had some
Lock this first.
some losses and whatnot, I did have a good time.
Oh yeah.
And just even when ridiculous things would happen, it was still ultimately maybe not like right in the heat of the moment, funny.
Yeah.
But like after the fact, I just laugh about everything that transpired in the game.
Yeah, no, it could be very funny. And yes, like there were some people that were mad because we lost a dinosaur. We lost like 10 at one time.
Right.
Or they drowned because the boat opened up and they all jumped off at one time. It was so funny. All the work. And sometimes it took, if you didn't toy with the server toggles, like getting the dinosaur, training the dinosaur, that could take 12 hours, real hours. We toyed around with it to where it was like, what, 24 minutes?
We were playing like weekend XP mode.
Yeah. We were doing like everything that anybody else would have done.
Couple of those guys we played with when we had left, and they were like, "Dude, we're not stopping right." They had gone into that 12. Some of those gigas were like, they were getting guys. I mean, I'm being serious about this. We're talking real life shifts, 8-hour shifts.
Oh yeah, some of those guys didn't have jobs.
We're talking tames that are like, you sat here for 48 hours on this thing, pumping it full of drugs and berries and
yeah. There's a little bit of right. So the next game, the game we're going to play tonight is Trident's Wake. Like I said, we got this one in right before our 22nd show, and we were going to do it, and then we were like, no, let's hold off. We want to do that what was the game? The Grand Theft Auto game.
American Fugitive.
American Fugitive.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, well, we want to wait for the next one because we want to show Freak Out. Okay?
Right.
Then there was 4th of July, and now we're here.
Right.
So, yeah, we're going to take a look at this one. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I like these sometimes. So, let's see. Join the fight.
How do I join up on this? No, maybe?
No,
Hold on.
we're gonna try to do it without. I don't know. I thought I hit no.
Oh.
Let's see what happens here. Establish foothold in the Trident. Are you able to play?
Yeah, no, I can't. I press all the buttons. I can't join.
Oh, am I in the trial? Hold on. Let me quit out here. I might.
I think I had to join on that previous screen.
No, it's just yellow is not the thing that selects. Yellow is the other one.
White is
yeah.
select? Oh,
Isn't that
gosh.
weird? Okay, it's just weird.
So join the fight here. Hold on.
There we go. Couch co-op.
There we go.
Oh, and Bloodstained. Yes, yeah, that's right. Bloodstained. So this has been like 3 or 4 weeks that we've been meaning to try this game.
And then what was the... We played another one that it was a 2D game. And this might have been the week before that, if I recall. But it was a 2D game, and then they made the 3D version of it. What was that called? Oh, gosh. These are all blending together at this point.
Bloodstained.
No. It was the... You in Baltimore knew a cat that was like really raw about streaming this, like really hardcore about it.
What game was that?
It was that roguelike, but it had the guns in it. And you were on that super vibrant planet.
Oh,
Heavy Blues.
No, sorry. You're talking about not FTL, but oh, why can't I think of it?
Baltimore's gonna have this in chat. I know.
Yeah, what am I thinking of? Oh, I know which game you're talking about. I can't think of it right now. I'll look that up while we're sitting here. Roguelike adventure.
It wasn't Warhammer. 'Cause we
It
played
something
that.
Rain.
Risk of Rain.
Risk of Rain 2.
Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah. Risk of Rain 2 is the one you're thinking of.
Tonight on Can Brooks and Greg Remember?
I'm telling you, man, it's like one thing after another. Okay, I'm already good. I think I'm in
So
here.
what am I doing?
Press start, maybe? There we go. Okay, and then let's just see. I guess we can just pick anything. Since we're just doing couch, so it's 4-player couch co-op, I take it.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. I'll just say I'm ready. Yep, you're right, Baltimore. Risk of Rain 2, that was the one. That was interesting. I haven't played any more of that since then.
I haven't followed it tremendously. Either.
Yeah, because it was a good game. It was an interesting game. But I just wasn't really 100% into it at that moment. So this is feeling like a twin-stick shooter.
Mm-hmm. Can we shoot each other? Okay. So we got a leg up from
Friendly fire sustained.
from Calamity.
Okay, so we can't shoot each other.
No.
That game made a hell of a leap. It did. I mean, going from like the 2D pixelated artwork that they had to, fully 3D rendered, almost Dark Souls style gameplay. Not Dark Souls, but close to that kind of like, hack and slash.
Right.
Anything's getting shot. That was probably just a friendly robot going by.
I was sitting over here. I was looking at your dude the whole time.
I know, I'm yellow. No, I know. Risk of Rain and Nuclear Throne. I mean, Nuclear Throne that's an awesome game. I love that game. But the other one that we have, what's the one that we have that we were always saying like, oh, it's like Risk of Rain. It's Neuro Voider. Very similar to, it's not Risk of Rain. It's very similar to Nuclear Throne.
Okay.
Kind of a, the same thing we got here, which is a. Oh, you want to go down that way or through the door?
You can go this way.
It's a twin stick shooter, super difficult, roguelike.
Requisition in progress. Okay.
Okay, we'll just keep open our way through. The only problem here is we can't hear the volume. So I hope the game sounds good. Requisition in progress. We need to get headphones. We never have, though. It's the one downside. Okay, where are we headed to now? Are you doing some hacking?
Okay, so this is the door, so I suspect we got to go back to the map and find the little green icons.
Okay. Well, there was that one turnoff.
You, over here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
So there's that green thing on the map right there. I think that's an objective.
That's one thing we gotta go after. Okay.
2 things there.
I'm actually gonna... I'll jump us off screen for a bit so you guys can see the full screen.
Yeah.
Why can I not? Oh, you got like... Okay. I have no weapon. Why?
Are you reloaded?
Is there a reload? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
I didn't catch that there was ammo in the game.
Okay, I'm gonna have to... Oh, man.
Okay.
Okay, give us another shot.
Yeah.
We didn't do the
Learned a
tutorial.
couple things the hard way there.
That last game was too loud. Which one were we playing the last one?
Arc?
Arc? I didn't know that Arc was that loud. Sorry. Yeah, they came out of nowhere. I think because we had set them off because we were starting to in progress all those missions. So let's give that another try here. It kicked us all the way out, so...
Oh boy, you die, you start over?
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Okay.
Little touch. Okay, continue. Oh wait, what's our options up here? Toggle enemies, additional weapons, larger maps, friendly fire activated. Oh, that's if we want to turn it on. Okay. I'm ready. Oh, not Ark, the Space Invader. Oh, okay, Shooting Star. Yeah, that one definitely had a louder... I remember that when I recorded it, so... You should have said something. I could have turned it down. Just checking over there. Okay. So let's look for the green stuff. Oh, this is a different map, too. Randomly generated.
Okay.
That's kind of nice. Let's see. Right around the corner. So are the green things the things that we're saying like in progress, or is this no? It's like a
I'm
objective
just...
secured. Okay, that's oh, here comes the enemies. They're mad. We got something out of the vending machine. Oh no.
We're gonna need a bigger clip on this gun.
Yeah, I was gonna
25
say
bullets
we
is
need
not
some
a lot
more
of shots.
That thing. Oh, what's this? The request. Okay, that's what I thought were the objectives. I guess they're not though. What is this? Wing Victory? No. God, what were the enemies in God of War that flew around? The really hard ones. The ones that... The Valkyrie, that's what it reminds me of. The Valkyrie were, like, really difficult. Oh, stand on this pad here, maybe. Let's do. Does that heal us?
Oh, that's got to be a resurrection pad.
Oh,
that's got to be what
gotcha.
that is.
Okay.
With the little angel, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would.
Unlike the Valkyries in God of War, which just beat you into the floor.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. We're going to run into that. This does have online co-op. Yep,
it does.
And it's couch co-op, online co-op,
and there's even matchmake.
And then there's matchmake. Yeah,
if you want to play with 4. I'd be curious how this scales. If it always plays as if the level's the same, or if you get more enemies, more difficult enemies as you play more.
No, that's. I would imagine it probably.
I would think so.
Introduces new enemies, but I'm sure there's a scaling component to it. we definitely need newer weapons. Look at this. It's almost like Gauntlet. It reminds me of. You ever played Gauntlet? The enemies, the way they move, and the group of enemies attack you all the time. Do we not have any kind of like projectile?
I ran out of ammo there on my first gun, so I was trying to reload that shotgun. I don't know. That left a little to be desired.
Yeah. Oh, did you end up dying? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to stay alive to see what happens. Oh, am I out of weapons? Or ammo?
If you hit B, I think it changes guns.
Oh, there we go. Nice. If I can hit him.
2 clips left.
Did I get them all?
1 clip left.
Done. Okay. Ammunition low. Is there a way I can resurrect? Oh no! What did I do? What did I do? I touched something.
5 shots with 1 clip. Jeez, boy, it was gonna be close. 9. Ooh.
Yeah, no, they had me. I couldn't get away from that. Yeah, that was... Yeah. That was my run. Horrible. Horrible. Let's try it again. I don't know. I like twin stick shooters. This one's interesting. It's kind of like a roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to look something up. Really, it all comes down for these games, like how many people are playing them.
Yeah.
If you're going to do multiplayer kind of stuff, right? Oh, sorry. That was.
I was just looking through the gear to see if
Oh, you
there
were
was
trying to
maybe
see
like
if you get
health
different weapons.
packs or yeah, but I think we have ammo boxes, whatever overclocking means, and then 2 types of weapons, 1 for each slot. So we're not working with a lot here yet.
No, we haven't unlocked anything, really. I do like that they randomly generate the maps. That's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
What's this thing here? Okay, request in progress.
Yeah, over the years we've played a tremendous amount of these, and they've
Oh,
had
sure.
varying degrees of 2D and 3D and around planets and various settings and character upgrades and roguelike. So it's always interesting to see the way that they kind of twist these games up. Last week's game was a little brutal with the whole you can constantly shoot each other and then you're ripping them across the screen like it's the Contra waterfall level or whatever.
No,
right?
yeah, that one can be, Freak Out was a little tough. Pulling people into walls and stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah, it was really, really a pain.
Reloading takes a minute. You can't just press it and keep going.
Yeah, no, it does.
You gotta have like a little bit of distance on what you're doing.
Okay, I'm gonna switch back to the rifle. How did I miss that guy right there? No.
And to my knowledge, there's not a lock on, so you're free aiming the whole time.
Oh,
on this
yeah.
thing.
Free aim. I mean, I actually like that a little bit better in some cases.
Oh yeah.
Being able to have a little bit more freedom of where you're aiming at. Now, I don't mind it when they stick to enemies either, right? To make it easier to shoot, so. Is that a troll? Yep. Dead now. I wonder what that request in progress is. just gonna walk down all these
I
paths.
go over here.
Now, is this where your character? No, you didn't respond.
Tango's sighted.
Okay, where's our next?
Up here.
Oh. Your way to hustle? Yep, left stick.
You just click it.
Yep. Alright, so it's here? Or is it above us?
I think it's this thing right here.
Oh, there you go. You would be right, and then there's one down at the end of the hall. Go. Oh. Reload. Come on. It must be out bullets. Oh no. Big machine. We're just trying to hit the green thing. Oh no, I'm getting stuck. Oh, phew. At least their weapon. Can we open these things up?
Not in my last clip.
Oh, I might be... Nope. Maybe now. God, really? They let you run out of ammo? I'm out. Let's see, I thought I dropped this green box.
You do.
Maybe for healing.
With L2.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to you.
No, it's all good. At this point, I'm just clicking buttons.
Yeah, you gotta shoot right between the shield plates. Yeah, it's definitely a smaller hitbox. Oh. I don't have any weapons, really. Where do you pick up ammo? I have that. What is this that keeps throwing down? If you hit your left trigger, you actually can do that rush mode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess let's just.
I guess run to the next objective.
Yeah, let's just run to that green arrow now. We have all the objectives done.
Oh man. Oh man, no. I'm running.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, dude.
I see how it is. Okay, so you just opened up a new...
Oh, great. Great.
Oh, is that your ship? Is that what you were supposed to run into?
I don't know. I have no idea what that was. That's what you get for leaving a teammate behind, I guess.
Exactly.
Got swarmed.
Man down, man down. Oh well.
So, we got levels up, though.
Okay, that's good. Elite Resilient. Yeah, online, couch co-op, keyboard, mouse. We're using Xbox One controllers, just for if anybody's curious. Okay, we're going to take the top one again. choose a different weapon than last time?
No, but this time we actually have another weapon.
Oh, we do.
So let's see here. What's the DPS on
The
this?
beamer.
Okay, I'm ditching that crappy shotgun. That's going. Hand cannon.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna play hand cannon.
Oh, I see here. Okay. Kind of thinking I don't want that. Oop.
Repair pods.
How did I get in there the last time? There we go.
And I'm gonna bring a supply pack. Hopefully that drops ammo.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I guess we'll see what we end up with.
God, I hate that. Okay, I'm ready. Now we're good. All right, let's give this another shot.
So I'm trying. There's this ability to overclock, which I think might be why. And I think when you use it, I think your bullets might do more damage.
Oh, okay.
That I mean, that's mentally that makes sense, anyways. Oh, I was looking at yellow.
Navigate T-Tac or TAC card. Taking points. Okay.
I really just dropped that, or was that you?
I don't know what that is. I dropped them before. I don't know what they are.
Humor me on this one. Come back here, shoot your gun, reload once, and try to pick that up and see what it does.
Okay. Nothing.
Oh, great. What a waste of a clip. Sorry.
Are you just dropping clips? Bless you.
Well, I wasn't. You were.
What?
But, yeah. So when you shot 3 bullets, and then...
Oh.
So, like, this is one of those games where when you drop your clip, it drops the bullets on the ground and there's no picking them up,
Same
right?
thing. Okay. Well, that's ridiculous.
Okay, so I think we gotta go chat with this thing right here.
Oh. The computer. Take care of those. I was taking a drink. Of course, I'm out of him. All right.
And I'm
Let's see.
and I'm really bad about this in games.
I guess go this way.
When I'm playing, we're like, we running around like playing Destiny or Borderlands or whatever, and like the gun will be half full and I'll be like reload, reload.
Sure.
So it's like in this game,
Yeah, I
it's
do that all the time.
It's especially bad because I'm like, oh, shot 3 times, reload, and it's like, well, there goes the other 22 shots.
Yep. That is true. Wonder why they make those games that way. I guess to make it harder. More of a challenge. More real world.
And while there's not friendly fire because you've got a shield on or whatever, the bullets don't go through each other. So like, there's been a couple times we've been playing where I've just shot into your back and it's just like, well,
Right, and it doesn't do
not
anything.
getting those bullets back.
Yeah, I thought I did that too. I thought that I was doing the same. Okay, where's this? Oh, this side. Oh, here we go. Boom, done. Now we're... Oh, dude, I don't think we did the thing. We must have moved too
Oh,
early.
do you have to stay in the circle?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get crushed.
Oh, they got me. I got hit right around that corner as I was going around. I didn't see him.
So let's see here. I'm gonna run back to this little angel pod thing. Let's see if this lets you come back.
They have some exotic boots like the warlocks or that the warlocks have to reload your weapon as you run. Did you ever play that part? Destiny?
Yeah, what are they called? Lunafactions?
Lunafactions?
Yep.
Man, right off the top of your head.
5 years. There. See, okay, you're back now. You're back.
Oh, because you went over to the pad.
To the pad, yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And you got full ammo on this beast.
So there's
now.
actually an idea to maybe like just go ahead and die. If your partner can stay alive, then you get your ammo back.
And just subtle fun fact is, if you didn't think there was actually 2 pairs of boots. There was a second pair where you ran over the ammo and it automatically reloaded. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah, those were actually pretty decent. There we go. Have you been playing much Destiny, Baltimore? We can't go on these though, right? And like re-heal. No, it's just for us to come back.
Yeah, it looks like it.
What is that thing? Traversive step. Lunafactions reload when you're in a rift.
Yep.
And the traversive steps reload when you run. I think that's what he's saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you only play Solar Warlock, so I mean, it's just not what it is. So you always got the rift.
Resources updated to the network. I don't know what that was, but that's for enemies.
You're questioning this weapon choice, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
The big guy. Where are we headed now? Oh, we're working our way. We need to work our way back down. I'm out of ammo again, aren't I?
I picked this Viper gun. This thing's got a truckload of ammo with it, so just the
What is
PS.
that thing that I trouble with? Oh, got me. Run back to the. Run back to the bad. People complain when you don't use the Lunafactions in a raid. That would make sense.
Yep.
There were some requirements of Galahorn and
Oh, these days it's even. There's some bananas builds. Makes some of those old exotics look pretty chump change.
oh, I don't think it does reload my weapon, or only it did that first time because I don't have anything.
But I've not played. I've only played the new season. I only played it one night. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go back. I don't have any. Oh no. Oh, I can't go back. Alright, I'm gonna run. Oh well. Not gonna run that far. You've heard of the Galahorn? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
This will be a retread because I know he knows what I'm talking about with this. It was funny the first week he showed up in town. He had like, I don't know, he had something. It wasn't.
This is
Xur. And we're all sitting there, and this is when strange coins are at a premium, right?
Yeah.
This is pre-subreddit. Nobody knows how to game the game yet. So we're sitting there, and we've got like 20, 25 strange coins. And we're all sitting there, and this yellow rocket launcher shows up, and we're like, no one's spending 13 strange coins on that. Now, mind you, like 2 months later, we're over here swimming in strange coins. We are farming every possible out to make sure everyone's got this goddamn rocket launcher, right? And we're like, yeah, the one that was available week 3 that we were all like, exotic that like tracks.
Who was
when
it?
you...
John didn't get it for months.
John didn't get it for like a year.
A year or something like that.
Seth
Yeah, it
might have
was
even been
ridiculous.
longer. And then of course it was like,
Let's try a different one here.
it was like Seth's homie that he was in the military with, and like,
Oh,
it was.
there you're in. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on, no. Go ahead, Seth's buddy.
I'm gonna space on his name, but yeah, he'd ponied up for it, and we're sitting there, and it was just, dude, things happened.
All right, so go ahead and hit your start. There we go. Oh, we're ranked 5. Okay, good. How do I get... There we go. Oh, nope. It doesn't like the analog stick to do the menu.
Yeah.
You gotta do the D-pad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing...
So I'll tell you, this Viper gun, dump that shotgun and get that.
The Viper gun, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, the hand cannon thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've already got it. Oh, no, I don't. I see what you're saying. Okay, yes, there we go. They just released a new exotic rocket launcher in Destiny 2 that has tracking. It's called Truth.
Yeah.
Truth around before?
Yeah, it's from the first game. It's
Yeah.
it's the PvP one where you shoot it and the thing will just chase you all over the map, but it doesn't have the Wolfpack.
The
rounds.
clusters or whatever that also track.
Get out of here.
Dude, that was funny, man. The amount of times, like, you'd just be, like, laying it out. Like, 6 people with the rocket, you know, with Galahorns on.
Oh, dude.
I was usually the weakest person because I didn't play anywhere near the amount of time these guys did. And they would have me join in. They were just like, kind of stand in the back. And, okay, now bring your Galahorn, run to the front. Everybody's going to fire. And mine would probably do like, you know, an ounce of damage in comparison, but it was fun.
I prefer the game more without that style of stuff. Now, and I mean, I'm not going to say we didn't play like that, and I'm not going to say, like, we didn't get the gear that way, but it's more fun when you can have, like, your loadouts and your mod and your guns, and it's not like, oh, everyone shows up, pull out the same thing.
Well, I mean, the entrance fee was a Galahorn and basically, you know, a full set of raid armor.
Pretty much.
This big guy, what is he? He's on me, that's what he was. Okay, now come back here. Reload. I don't like the reload in this.
I don't care for the finite ammo.
I mean, it's... Come on. Let's just go to town.
And then the other thing, it's like, it's not only just finite ammo, but I also find that, like, if I could lock on, it might help.
Oh, yeah.
But there's times when, like, I'm shooting at you, I'm shooting at the wall, I'm trying to move, and, like, and I'm just like, oh, well, there goes that clip, and then I shoot, and then I reload, and I dump that clip, and it's like, well, there goes 50 bullets.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy got smoked.
Okay, right around here is one objective. Yep. Get ready, they're gonna come. These guys, like, are left and right on the corner.
This hand cannon's pretty decent.
I don't know what weapon I really like in this game. I haven't found one. I think I'm out of ammo again.
Are you not playing with the Vipe?
I thought. Okay.
You're on that Stingray. You gotta get off that piece.
Okay, wait. No, now I got the Viper.
Yeah. You gotta kind of mash on the trigger a little bit, but this thing drops. Let's see where we at.
Can't do anything there.
I think we might be up, actually.
Yeah, people have already found a cheese to compete the new tribute.
On the
Hall.
on the bad juju, I saw that.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I got stuck. Okay. Oh, that's funny.
I only just every so often I check the sub, even though I haven't. I mean, we've been so busy, but.
Now, Baltimore, do you actually raid with groups of people, or do you have a team that you kind of run around with? Or is it just the randoms that you end up playing with in the evenings or whatever, or whenever you play? Hostiles.
You know, I will say the game. I would say the game's become a lot more friendly in that regard. Where like LFG, it's not such strict requirements because there's not just one thing anymore that just collapses the raid, and the raids are more about. Back early on, it was heavy DPS, and you kind of had like, as long as one dude can do the shield and like one dude can do this, you're fine. But now they're all really communication heavy. So it's really more about you're only as strong as your weakest player. So in my experiences, I think it's a little little more friendly these days, and it's more. There's a little more teaching and learning that goes on with it. And it's not like, oh, he doesn't have the sniper or
Right.
whatever.
Oh, where are you?
He's playing with his Viper.
I am. I'm running with it now. It's actually a decent gun. You're right. I mean, I'm just taking them down left and right.
I'm about to be out of ammo, so it's really just going to be you taking him down here. So. What's this ammo?
Yeah,
Please,
go ahead.
Please be something.
What was that? It looked like ammo. Yeah, they give us ammo.
This crap is
Get
out of here.
You have a clan that you're in. Okay, cool. That's why I was curious. If nobody's on, you find random okay, through the LFG Discord server. Nice.
Oh, I think
There are a lot of items that encourage cooperation too. Well, that's good. I haven't played Destiny 2 for 2 years. I don't know, a year and a half. I forget the last time I played it.
the last time you played,
Where are we at? Oh, we got to go back this way?
The green circle's right over here. My recollection is I think you and Sarah joined us early D2, which would have been a couple of years ago. Yeah. Because like I think if I recall, I think we might have even at that point had been in a raid, and we were like, "Oh, go to the vendor," and it was like raid rocket launcher, or some variant of that, and then we went and screwed around on Nessus or something like that. Well, this is really on you now, bud.
I think I'm almost out too. Yep, just ran out.
So let's go see if we can't hack this compromised terminal.
Oh, man. There's no weapons. Why don't you have ammo you can pick up? Okay, I'm running. There's nothing.
No shield. My health.
I know. I'm
Health
like,
is gone.
oh, there was just no way to get around that. All right, I think it's good. I'd love to have played through the tutorial. Maybe that would have given us a better idea of like exactly. But I think maybe it might just be that way. We're just unlocking stuff, and that's how you last longer.
Well, I felt like we were getting into the swing of things
Right.
there. Like we figured out the guns.
Yep.
It would have helped. Like we had boxes and overclocking. I didn't know how to do either of them.
Right, and I think the tutorial would have probably given us that
Probably.
heads up on, oh, do this, do that. I like the look of the game. The game is right up my alley. And the idea of the 4-player co-op, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to the limited ammo and the way you swap and the reloads, I can appreciate that you can't just be like twin stick space shooter. That doesn't cut it. So you have to
you
add
gotta have a little bit more
right
finesse. Yeah.
So I get it.
It would have been nice. You know, for some reason I kept thinking, man, this would be a perfect thing for like the Gears of War style like reload mechanism.
The active reload.
The active reload in there.
Yeah.
And then that would have helped you conserve ammo or something of that nature.
Right.
I don't know. That just seems like there could be something there. But, well, we got to level 6. I mean, that was pretty quick. But definitely would have played a little bit longer. Where did we get this through? Is this through PID?
Trident's Wake.
I think it is, isn't it? Let me look.
I'll do a quick look on it. I got the page up here. This comes to us from... Yeah.
It is.
This is like Roman and his guys over there.
I am going to throw key in chat.
Cool.
So, again, what we do is we remove one... We'll throw a couple of them in. We'll throw 2 in. What we do is remove one item from the code, one digit.
Right.
You got to figure that out. They're redeemable on Steam. So let me throw a few in here. And then we'll call it good for tonight. So let's see here. What am I going to remove? How about that one? So 1 digit's removed on this. Whoever gets it first gets the gets the game, and then let's see. We'll do a second one. So there's at least 2. You didn't take one of these, did you?
No.
To test on? No.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew which one was what. And let's see. We'll remove this one. Okay. There's the 2 keys. Definitely, that'll get you your own copy of Trident's Wake. I like it. Like I said, I think that in general, I would have rather went through the tutorial first. Because I think you would have known a better way to play the game, but we were definitely getting progress.
Yeah, there were. What was the other game I thought about? We played Barotrauma here in the last month, and that was the same thing where I was sitting there and I was like, it ended up with, I don't know, we were swimming around killing ourselves outside or some such, and we were, It
took a little bit of strategy. So, yeah, Barotrauma, I think, is very similar in that sense. Yeah.
Right.
If you get a chance to play it, you get kind of the idea of the game down.
Right.
The co-op is really good because that was, 6 players? I think it was up to 6 players, 6 or 8. And then this game, up to 4 on couch co-op and probably 4 on online co-op as well, or multiplayer, so...
Yeah, this, You've
gotten into it, Baltimore? That's cool. I was wondering. I was going to ask you how you liked it. Barotrauma is really good. It has a really good premises. It's a great studio that developed it. The game's solid. It's just, you got to spend some time on it to really get the enjoyment out of it, I think.
This really reminds me of a game. It's a couple years old called Alien Swarm. It looks exactly like that.
There was 1, 2, and 3.
There's a couple of them, I think. Yeah,
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and it had the same thing where you've got the free aim with the laser, and you've got the team, and you've got the drops, and that's kind of what this one reminded me of.
Yeah, no, that's true. That does have a similar ring to it. Where this, though, I think is more in line with. It seems like it's a roguelite.
Right.
Roguelike style, you die, but then you maintain your XP and you go back at it and you learn, you get more powerful weapons and that stuff, and you just keep building your way up. Mm-hmm. And then you're able to go further and further. But yeah, no, fun game. Just like I said, I would definitely go through the tutorial so you understand what all the things are around, like playing the game.
Right.
Because we had no idea what the terminals were for.
No.
We're just running up to them because they're green. But it would have been nice to
and green means go.
Green means go.
Right.
That's how we look at it. All right, guys. Folks, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you next Thursday. Back here, we're going to be playing a brand new set of games. New news, all that stuff.
Yep.
If you haven't, definitely like the video, subscribe if you get a chance, and then always join us on Thursdays and we can sit here and chit-chat about video games and all about the video game industry. It's kind of fun. So we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out, and definitely enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week.
Take it easy.
Later.